So the Donald Trump presidency, being viewed as some sort of spiritual movement of the Lord, is not slowing down anytime soon. That view is dangerous, it's heretical, and is being accepted by so many people. As a Baptist preacher, I must speak out against this. And I'm going to show you some people making some wild claims about this being a move of God. Don't go away. Hello, friend. Your friend Spencer here. Go ahead and smite the like button, or the lizard people will get you. That's a joke. Please don't be like that. It's a joke. It's funny. It's funny. So also check out our book, Wandering Stars, available on Amazon. Get that now, and a link in the description below. We talk about end times teachers, and basically it's commentary on the book of Jude. A lot of good stuff in here. People are enjoying this book. Get you a copy today. So there's a commentator on Twitter, and it's still Twitter, I don't care what anybody says, who is saying, and this is Lila Rose, saying that a revival is happening in America. That is in the context of Donald Trump's presidency and the conservative political things that are in the works right now. And I want to tell you to equate the presidency of Donald Trump with some sort of spiritual, Christ-honoring revival in America is something that I am not comfortable saying. I think that you can be some sort of godless heathen, beer-drinking, revel-rousing, riotous living, reprobate mind, and have voted for Donald Trump and love to see the conservative, populist, capitalistic views that he is taking. And you might even be excited about the income tax being annihilated in place of tariffs on goods coming into the country. To me, that's one of the wildest things ever, and in my lifetime, that would be awesome if we could see that. But you can enjoy all that and vote for all that and believe in all that and not be some sort of Christian. But I want to tell you something that just critique this for a few moments. This person, I retweeted this and I said this: nope, revivals have historically resulted in holiness. And what is happening right now in America is not some gigantic push towards holiness. Now, when we talk about revival, what we're speaking about is the Holy Spirit of God doing a great work amongst people, lost and saved alike, where there is a brand new awareness of God, where there is a reviving of religious views, where there is a reviving of the gospel being preached and churches being refreshed spiritually and going out and living the Christian life, where men are standing in the street corners preaching and people are getting saved in an inordinate and an unusual amount as there wasn't before, almost like a refreshing, a move of God in such a way that God's people are revived, sinners are converted, and people, just all kinds of people, get right with God and start practicing and living the Christian life. That's what we mean by revival. And my friend Nathaniel Jolly says this, and I like it. He says, if holiness is not the result of the Holy Spirit, the Holy Spirit isn't at work. If holiness is not the result, the Holy Spirit isn't at work. And so I want to tell you that Donald Trump's presidency has not been some sort of return to holiness. I don't see OnlyFans being shut down. I don't see wickedness, being outlawed in this nation. I don't, and matter of fact, I would even say it doesn't even have to be outlawed. It just has to go out of business because of a lack of interest amongst the American people. That's not happening right now. And so she's wrong on that front. And by the way, if you want to go read some good things about revival and what true revival looks like, I want you to go look up the Great Awakening. See what happened when George Whitefield preached and when Jonathan Edwards preached. I believe those were men of God who loved the Lord, who were, if I could use the term, filled with the Holy Spirit, who lived the Christian life. And when they preached the Bible to people, people repented publicly. I even remember reading one time when Jonathan Edwards preached the sermon, Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God, that people were so under conviction of their sin by the work of the Holy Spirit that they were actually climbing into trees, trying to escape the very judgment of God because they thought, like Korah in the Old Testament, that the ground would open up beneath them because of God's displeasure with them, and they would drop off into hell. And to escape that wrath, they actually climbed into trees. They were just so convinced of it. Oh, I'd love to see something like that in my day, wouldn't you? And that's what we're talking about as far as a revival. But I want to be fair to Lila Rose here. She's only half wrong. I want you to follow me here. She's only half wrong. And there is an actual revival happening in America, but it's not a Christian revival. And I want to give you a little bit of context on who this person is. This is her X page. I'm going to have a hard time getting used to say that. This is her X page. This woman is a Roman Catholic, and she is a pro-life advocate, and apparently she does a lot of things like that, talking about defunding Planned Parenthood, and I think she's got the ear of some people who possibly can get that done. There's Speaker Johnson right there, and they're talking about that. And if that happens in this presidency, I think it'd be amazing. But here's the thing. I want you to be careful. That doesn't mean that it's a revival of Christianity. Check this out. I want to give you some context as to what she's saying. Notice this. This is the tweet in question. Revival is happening in America. But look at the tweet right before it. She retweets Pope Francis. That's interesting. And so that gives you an idea of her Catholic upbringing and her Catholic worldviews. There is a revival of mystery religion in the United States of America. The past 4 years, you had a revival of the left-wing version of it. And I think in the next 4 years, you're going to have a revival of the right-wing version of mystery religion. I've told you before on this channel before, and I'll say it again, even Ethan Klein quoted me, the H3H3 podcast, and I think he's obviously a left-wing guy, but I've said this openly before, and I want to say it again. There is a version of the occult that walks around with red hats on saying MAGA all the time. Now, politically, I'm a conservative. I think Donald Trump's going to do a lot of amazing things. If he can pull off this tariff deal and no income tax, George Washington might be a distant second to the greatest president of all time, okay? And I'm speaking politically, of course. But that would be wild, totally wild. But at the same time, there are things that are surrounding this man that are being given platforms and positions now, that are being given authority to operate now, that I think are nefarious in nature, namely the Word of Faith, charismatics with Paula White Cain in his ear and the New Apostolic Reformation all in his ear, and guys like Sean Foyt and all those nuts that are around him. And then also, number two, the Catholic Church. Both of those entities are dangerous and evil. And I'm afraid that what is going to happen because of conservative political views, you're going to have evangelical guys like Jensen Franklin that are going to accept a false unity. They're going to accept an ecumenical unity, an ecumenical congealing, an ecumenical syncretizing with these false teachers. And the old-time religion will be lost in the shuffle. Now, I warned you about this. I warned you about this years ago on our YouTube channel when I did Third Adam 2. Look at that very nefarious younger man right there. I want you to watch just a few minutes of this with me. There's coming a day where something called the Great Reclamation, which is going to be a reverse, a total 180 of the Great Reformation, is going to happen. And I think right now we're primed for it to happen with the presidency of Donald Trump, because now Baptists, evangelicals, Protestants, and Catholics are all on the same page politically, and I think we could see some sort of ecumenical unity going forward. Watch this with me for just a moment. So back in the Middle Ages and through much of history, you have people that are basically being forced into paganism. And a group of people were involved in the Catholic Church in the Middle Ages and say, you know what, this isn't scriptural, this isn't Bible, we're going to come out and create our own church. And it was a great conflict, significant to history. It was called the Great Reformation. So basically you have the Catholic religion, and a bunch of people came out of this system. And so basically this is how it all played out. But a new entity has been born in these last days, and it's coming out of this crowd right here, and it's called
That's the charismatic.
the New Apostolic Reformation. Now what's happening today is that this religion wants all of her babies to come home, and then this religion is going to merge with all the other religions and have your one world religion. And that's happening today. I mean,
And so,
the Pope's
if you notice,
doing
the
that.
plan of God is always complete opposite of the plan of Satan. So let's take this chart and flip it on its head. Everything listed on the board here came out of the Catholic Church, but there's going to be a day where everything goes back into the Catholic Church. And this event that is happening now before your very eyes will be called the Great Reclamation. All of these denominations are going to unite together, and eventually they're going to do a reverse reformation, and they're all going to go back to Mother Rome again.
Kind of free and unbound in the presence of God, or whether it looks like a Catholic service or an Anglican worship.
Our Catholic brothers are with us. Tell us, Mateo, welcome. Give our shout of thanksgiving for our Catholic brothers. Go ahead.
And the tool that will be used to accomplish this goal is going to be none other than the New Apostolic Reformation. It's going to be your Bethel. It's going to be Hillsong. It's going to be all these compromising neo-evangelical people. Now, most people would...
Okay, so that's what I'm saying, and that's my point. The Great Reclamation is going to happen, and I think it is happening right now through ecumenicism amongst evangelicals and Protestants and Catholics and false teachers. You see it through many different mediums, like the Chosen series that is trying to merge evangelicals with Mormons and Catholics. And then I think another element that's going to accelerate what I call the Great Reclamation is going to be some sort of political ecumenical unity surrounding Donald Trump. And I think that I think in the next 4 years you're going to see a lot of positive things happen in America, and it's going to spark a unity, and that unity is not good. And I'm worried that people are not waking up to this now. I think Donald Trump is not saved. He's a man of this world. I think the man has a long track record of immorality, all that. And but at the same time, you know, I think he's got some pretty good ideas as far as being a president. I think he has a unique leadership style that could be very beneficial to America at this point. But I'm a preacher. I'm not a politician. I'm a preacher. My job is to look at this whole event from the religious angle. And I'm telling you, there are some nefarious things at work from that angle surrounding this presidency. And for that, I'm scared to death, and I want you to wake up. Go watch our Third Adam series, available on our YouTube channel for free. Please go check those out. They will help you. Got Third Adam 1, 2, 3, 4, all right here on our channel for free. Just go watch them. They're there. They'll be a blessing to you. And understand that there is some very nefarious things in the works right now, and you need to wake up. Check out our book, Wandering Stars, available on Amazon. Link in the description below. Go ahead and get a copy today. And we will see you guys next time. Subscribe to this channel if you're new. And we'll talk to you after a while. See you.